Welcome to today's episode of We Are Marketing Happy, a healthcare marketing podcast. My name is Jenny Bristow. I am the CEO and founder at Hetty and Hop, a full service and fully healthcare marketing agency. I'm very excited to chat with y'all today about payer marketing. So often we talk about marketing for patient acquisition for providers, but a lot of the work we do here at Hetty and Hop is actually on the payer side, so health insurance companies. It's something we're equally as passionate about, and we're doing a lot of strategic planning and some great conversations right now with clients. And there are some baseline fundamental best practices that we do here at Hetty and Hop in the way that we think about payer marketing that I thought I'd share today. So today, let's dive in and talk about the two stages of payer marketing. So as anybody who is on the health insurance side of the healthcare marketing world knows, there is an open enrollment period in the fall, whether you are doing individual and family or Medicare plans. There is a flurry of activity in the fall when folks have an opportunity to change the plans they are enrolled in. And then there's typically a more dormant time, which we are in right now. So open enrollment for both individual and family or Medicare is in the fall, bleeds a little bit into January, but then it really closes up. And some folks still, of course, still apply if they have a change of circumstance or if they turn 65 and newly qualify for Medicare. But in general, it's a much slower period of time in the spring leading into the fall. And so we at Hetty and Hop really start thinking about two different stages of the yearly cycle. And I wanted to talk about those two stages and the activities that we like to think about and approach in each of those stages, because too often we see folks kind of tackling projects at a weird point of time throughout the year, where we would actually recommend doing it at a different time of year for a variety of reasons. So let's dig into it. The two stages are open enrollment, which is in the fall, like I just talked about. And the rest of the year we like to call always on. So let's talk first about always on. So the dormant or slower time of year where you are having some people sign up, but in general, it's relatively quiet because you don't have most people in your area looking to switch plans. A couple of things, there are 6 core things we recommend doing during this time of year. The first is continuing a media program for brand awareness and for that chunk of the population that still is able to enroll in your programs. The biggest problem we see folks doing is actually going dark with their media planning. It's much more difficult to turn a campaign on for open enrollment when you don't have some, wind in your sails as far as Google's algorithm and all of your other media placements. It's much more difficult to turn something on and then turn it back off again than it is to have something on at a lower level and then ramp it up, in time for open enrollment. So again, always have a media program going that's focused on brand awareness, keeping your brand top of mind, and building that consumer affinity leading into open enrollment. Number 2, now is the time to do website updates or redo your website. The traffic to your website is going to be massively lower this time of year. So if you're wanting to build a completely new website, build a new user journey, new landing pages for your plans, whatever it may be, now is the time to do it. Number 3, investing time and resources into measurement planning and dashboards. This is a great time to do it. So looking back at what worked and didn't work for your last enrollment period and really understanding, through the lens of reporting on my campaigns, what were the gaps? What were some things that my leadership team asked for that maybe I wasn't able to get to the level of granularity that they wanted? Or perhaps there's things that I would like to just proactively report on about campaign efficacy that I wasn't able to do last year. So stepping back and really making sure you're measuring your campaign success, your dashboard or whatever reporting functionality you're using is technically set up accurately. Something I would do here is a little sub-bullet is any patient privacy work you need to do. So any cleanup to make sure that your analytics tools are not collecting IP addresses, device IDs, et cetera. That's part of that measurement planning and dashboarding. Number 4, any new tool integration. So if your company is wanting to roll out a CRM, for example, or a new email marketing tool, now is the time to do it. You do not want to roll out Salesforce during open enrollment, your busiest time of year. You're going to have way too many priorities. Do it during your slower period where you really can have time to invest in the infrastructure and the rollout in an appropriate way. Number 5, persona development and user journey optimization. Coming out of your busiest time of year, you're going to have a lot of data, fresh data at your fingertips. Now is the time to really dig in, look at it, and try to fine tune your personas. Better understand who your customer is. Who are people? Who's the average buyer? Who is the person that, is going through and perhaps getting close to enrollment, but not actually completing that action? And what can you do as far as your user journeys on your website to improve it next year? It's a great time to invest in those sort of research programs. And then number 6, roll out and test content marketing strategies. So if your persona marketing work that you did and you developed some new personas and some content strategies rolling up to it, begin rolling it out now. Roll it out during the slower period. Begin putting a little bit of media budget behind it to increase some visibility and see what kind of engagement numbers you can get. Again, you want to do it earlier in the year so you have time to fine tune it leading in to when it's time for open enrollment, but testing new content marketing strategies during this time of year is really great. So you have these 6 priorities, things that you want to tackle kind of during your slower time of year. And then it's going to get chaotic for open enrollment. So everybody now is thinking about actually going and switching their health insurance plan. You have, ACA actually like running nationwide broadcast campaigns around it, raising visibility and awareness that now is the time to do it. What should you be doing as an organization to really look at the volume of new users and customers that you can get into your plans? We limit this to 3 core areas. The first is conversion-oriented media programs. Now is the time to kind of dump those awareness campaigns and get into conversion-oriented campaigns. I have an entire episode on media strategies and talking about awareness campaigns versus conversion campaigns and what that means. Now is the time that if your budget is limited, you're going to dump that awareness and you're going to dive directly into conversion. If you have the budget to support both, that's fabulous. They really can feed off of each other to really keep people in that conversion consideration. If they perhaps come to your website and then don't make a decision immediately, you can perhaps pull them back in again. Not with retargeting, though. Remember, friends, retargeting is dead to us. So if your agency is doing retargeting or in-house, stop it right away. Message me to learn more about why, but don't do that anymore. Number 2, we're going to limit website changes, testing, and tracking right now. Like, we're not going to make any changes to any of that, right? We had like a whole part of the year at the beginning of the year to do that. And now is the time to just kind of sit. We can collect data, right? We can have a conversion rate optimization tool on the site, begin collecting a lot of user data. Perhaps we're going to begin doing a little bit of A/B testing on landing pages as far as headlines and call to actions. That's all great, but we're not doing any widespread website changes right now. We're not launching a new website in November, for example. Not going to do that. And then the third is to really begin testing that persona-based work that you did. So any, reasons to believe or core messages that you landed on, now is the time to test that in market. So think about your media, creative, landing page, creative, and ways that you can test that to be able to understand with real world data what can improve conversion rates on your website. So again, we find it really helps if you think about your year as 2 separate phases. If you're a healthcare marketer in the payer space, you're going to have a more dormant time of year, which we think about as always on. And then you're going to have a busy time of year, which we like to think of at open enrollment. You're going to do all of your research, big changes, structural changes, et cetera, during your dormant, always on period. Then we're going to buckle down and focus on conversions for that always on, or for that open enrollment. So if you have any questions about any of this, feel free to reach out. We're really passionate about payer marketing here at Hetty and Hop. We think that our work with providers is only good if people have health insurance to actually be able to afford that care. So we really see it going hand in hand. And please do not forget to rate and review. We are marketing happy. We have received lots of feedback recently from folks that have tuned in and found the content helpful. So if there's a specific topic you want us to cover, shoot me a note, jenny@hettyandhop.com. We'd love to hear from you. So until next time, we are marketing happy, stay joyful in the work that you do, and we'll see you for a future episode.